Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. I hope everyone's doing well today. Thank you for joining me. It's H's Place, and welcome to It's Just Life. I have a really incredible opportunity today to have a great guest with me, Mr. Joshua Kells, to talk about a wonderful adventure called Follow Your Heart. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
So, Joshua, what is Follow Your Heart?
Follow Your Heart is a bicycling volunteer campaign that will take me from Albuquerque, New Mexico, all the way down to Tacna, Peru, through Mexico, Central America, and South America.
So, Joshua, what inspired this idea?
After returning from a 5-year stay in Australia, my next calling was to go to Peru. Along the journey, I wanted to help as many people along the way as I could, not just people, but humanitarian efforts as well as helping animals, helping reforestation efforts, just any organization I could get involved with along the way. After hearing about a friend of mine, Sharon, taking her trip from Washington all the way over to Maine, I got the idea, well, I didn't want to take a flight, I didn't want to take a bus, I didn't want to take a boat, so I decided, why not cycle from Albuquerque to Peru and really see the scenery, get involved with the culture, and help as many people along the way as possible.
That's really amazing. So, Joshua, give us an idea and an understanding of how the sponsorship process is going to work.
Okay. Well, along with hands-on volunteering, actually getting dirty, helping people out, I will be donating 60% of the funds raised along the way to 3 different organizations chosen by donors and followers to kind of pull together and decide what people feel is most valuable or where they think the most help is needed. I think kind of understanding where people's values lie and what the most pertinent topic of the kind of current event is will determine where those sponsorships will be allocated.
So that sounds really cool. So it sounds like the folks out there are going to actually have a capability of participating in choosing who is going to get some help. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. So I'll have a Facebook page, an Instagram, and I've got a website, followyourheart.co, that people will be able to actually submit their requests for volunteer organizations and things that they would like to see some effort be allocated toward. And once I've pulled all of this stuff together, then we will, as a collective, make the decisions as to what 3 organizations or which of the organizations along the 18 legs of the journey actually get volunteered and donated to.
And how will the people find out the ones that have been chosen, Joshua?
So I'll send out an email. I've got a donor list, and people following my Instagram will also get to see where those funds will be allocated as well.
That's really cool. So Joshua, give us an idea of how long this adventure is going to take. It's obviously not going to be my normal stop at Starbucks. So let us know about that.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the journey. So in terms of mileage, it's about 7,750 miles or so. So
wow.
For those of us using the metric system, 12,479 kilometers, give or take, however long it takes me to get lost and unlost. So I'll be going through Mexico, around the Yucatan Peninsula, down through Belize. Now the only issue is actually crossing the Darien National Forest, which just has basically hiking trails. You can't really cycle through them. So with the short exception of going from Panama to Colombia, I have to take a cargo ship, get my bike put on the ship and all of that, sent over. I'll follow along. I'll continue from Turbo in Colombia and going all the way down to Tacna, Peru from there.
Okay, cool. So you're not necessarily going to be cycling the entirety of the time. You just mentioned a lovely forest. So with the exception of that forest that you mentioned, you'll be on the cycle the rest of the time. Is that right?
Yeah, so the entire time. So the idea is to be cycling as much as possible. Ideally, I would like to cycle the entire thing, just, I don't know, for completion's sake, but can't really do what we can't do in that regard. So minus 190 kilometers, give or take a few, I will be cycling the rest of that, yeah.
How many miles are you going to go a day? Do you have a plan on that, or do you just roll with it, pun intended, or how are you going to judge that?
So the beginning of the journey, I'm going to be training up for longer distances along the way. So starting probably about 50, 60 miles a day, including all of the weight and just depending on how the roads and conditions and things like that are going to be. Toward the end of the trip, I'm going to be shooting for about 100, 110 miles a day, 80 at the least.
Wow. I think more than 10 at the least is saying something and then some. Okay, fantastic. And Joshua, you've done a lot of great sharing of information with us, but one thing I haven't heard is how can you afford to do this?
So the idea behind all of this is following your heart to happiness, and why I want to do something like this is to show people just how much kindness there is in the world, what people can actually do if we trust in each other, we help each other out. So primarily most of this is donation based, so whether it be through equipment or monetary donations through the various sites that I've organized. I will be collecting the funds, and as I mentioned before, 60% of the funds will be going to the organizations, the other 40% will be to help fund the trip.
Awesome. So the bicycle and everything, I know that you had mentioned in the past when we were chatting that you have folks you're reaching out to. So bicycle, everything to get you there, you're working on having that donated, is that correct?
So the funding for the bicycle, yeah, so most of that will be donated. I know people at the bike shops that I'm working at that are donating equipment as well. Fat Tire Cycles, big shout out to you guys. They've been really helpful in helping determine what kind of bike I'm going to need, how I'm going to get down there. Just a lot of the logistics behind making it all happen. So yeah, that will be how that all works.
There's a lot of good folks out there. I'm happy people locally are helping out. And most importantly, for everyone out there listening, watching, how can they donate if they want to get involved? How do they do that, Joshua?
So I've got a few different ways that you can donate. So the first of which is a GoFundMe. You just go to GoFundMe.com, and in the search bar, you'll type "Follow Your Heart to Happiness." You'll see a little map of a bicycle going from Albuquerque all the way down to Peru, and that's where you'll be able to make your monetary donations. I'm taking Zelle payments, Zelle. Those are, you can send payments through banks from bank to bank, and for people that would like to ask some more questions or a bit more curious about, maybe they want to see where their money is going or how that's going to be affected, then they can contact me directly at jkales13@gmail.com or on my phone at 505-717-9914. Just give me a call or an email, and we can have a discussion about how it is you would like to contribute.
Fantastic. Well, Joshua, I really appreciate you being here today, and I think this is a wonderful adventure and the abundance of good mojo to you, young man, on your journeys, and I know you're going to help a lot of people and touch them along the way. Thank you. So,
I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time, so if y'all have any questions, please just give me a buzz. Follow me at my Instagram, at jkales, CALES13. My Facebook, it's just Joshua Kales, complete transparency. I'm not hiding anything. If you guys want to know how things are going to be donated or where they're being allocated, I will also be posting all of that information as well. So, how much money or how much resources, how much time, what the organization is, all of that stuff. So please follow along. Look for the links down in the description. For the GoFundMe, for the Zelle, and for my other contact details. And I hope to see you all along the way. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. And Joshua, thank you so much. And I highly encourage everyone to help this young man on this journey. It's a wonderful cause, and I'm doing it, and it's a really groovy thing. Everyone take care.